Hello, hi guys. This is CA Balakrishna from Lecturepedia.in. How are you? Hope you people are doing well. Even I am fantastic. In the today's class, we'll be discussing question and answers from management audit. And obviously, this question and answer discussion it will be from our question bank. You can purchase this question bank along with audit concise book from the link that I will be providing in the description. Okay. Now starting with the first question. Basically a very small chapter. Messrs. ABC and Co. Chartered Accountants have been approached by PQR Limited, a company engaged in iron and steel manufacturing industry. The company has been facing following operational issues. What are the operational issues that are being faced by PQR Limited? First one, penal interest for delayed payments to the overseas vendors despite having enough cash flows. Okay, this is the first operational issue that is being faced. Even though the entity is having enough cash flows, it is paying penal interest for late payment to the vendors. Next issue, despite having regular production and enough inventory, delays in shipping the final goods to the customers, leading to its deteriorating vendor rating. These are the two operational issues that are being faced by the company. Okay, now why these issues are being faced? Let us see what they are saying. As a partner of Messrs. ABC and Co. Through detailed discussion with the senior manager of PQR Limited, you have concluded that all these delays are because of long decision making cycles in the company. As a consultant to the company, would you recommend management audit or operational audit? Basically, these two are different types of audits: management audit and operational audit. This question it is focusing on differences between management audit and operational audit, and it is asking you to suggest which type of audit you will perform in this scenario. First of all, we will explain them what is the difference between management audit and operational audit. Basically, management audit focuses on quality of management's decision making, whereas operational audit focuses on quality of operations that are being conducted in the entity. And management audit is audit of management, whereas operational audit is audit for management. This is a basic difference between management audit and operational audit. Basically, the procedure that is followed for doing management audit and operational audit both is same. The method that is used for performing operational and management audit is same, but the difference is the level of appraisal. In case of management audit, you will be appraising the top management's decision making. In case of operational audit, you will be appraising the operations of the entity. So there is a difference in the level of appraisal, but there is no difference in the method of appraisal. Okay, the same you can find it here. First of all, management audit is concerned with quality of managing, whereas operational audit focuses on quality of operations. Management audit is audit of management, whereas operational audit is audit for management. Whenever you find any question with respect to differences between operational audit and management audit, you must write these 2 points. And the basic difference between two audits is not in the method but in the level of appraisal. Even this point you need to mention. Now you need to conclude which type of audit has to be conducted in the present case. Now if you see, these two are basically operational issues, but why these operational issues have arisen? Because of delay in management's decision making. There is long decision making cycles in the entity. So here operational problems have arisen because of management's decision making. Okay, delay in management's decision making. So here you need to perform management audit. Okay, let us see what is the conclusion that is given in the answer. Since the delays in payments and consequent penal interest payments and delays in shipping and the consequent deteriorating vendor ratings are happening because of delays in decision making process of the management. So here there is no problem in the operations, but there is a problem in the decision making of the management. So therefore it appears that this is not just an internal control or operational issue, but a issue of management process. So management audit would be recommended in this case. Hope that is clear. A similar type of question, question number 2, but a slight difference you'll find. Let us see. Question number 2. The PQR Limited has come across many instances where it could buy products at lesser cost than the actual procurement price it paid. The management believes that the adequate purchase policy is in place, including the requirements of 3 quotations from the registered vendors, appropriate vendor vetting and rating mechanism. However, the on-ground implementation of purchase policy might be defective. Here, operational issues have arisen because of deficiencies in the implementation of procedures. So here it is a operational problem. There is no problem with the management's decision making. Okay. Further, it has observed that there might be some employees involved in choosing the higher cost vendors as well. The company approaches you to advise a type of audit it should get done, management or operational audit. Please advise through a comparison between the both audits. The comparison, you can use the same points that we have covered in question number 1, and conclusion, sorry, you can find it here. Since it is not the management's decision that are creating the operational bottlenecks, the purchase policy and procedure seem to be in place. The missing part is the operational implementation by the process employees. Therefore, the operational audit is recommended in this case. Hope that is clear. Next question, question number 3. Write a short note on management audit questionnaire. Basically, this management audit questionnaire, it will be used by the management auditor while conducting management audit. See, a management audit questionnaire is an important tool for conducting management audit. What is the objective of this management audit questionnaire? Basically, it is having some basic objectives like comprehensive and constructive examination of organization's management and its assigned tasks. With the help of this management audit questionnaire, you can examine the organization's management and the tasks that have been assigned to the management, whether they are working properly to achieve those goals. And it will also help you in appraising the management actions in accomplishing the organization's objectives. Appraisal means assessing, verifying whether management is working properly towards achieving the goals of organization. This can be verified by the management auditor with the help of this management audit questionnaire. Basically, in this management audit questionnaire, there will be various questions that will be posed by the auditor to the management. Based on answers of the management to these questions, the auditor will assess whether management is working properly or not, whether the management's decision making process is intact or not. It will also highlight weaknesses and deficiencies in the organization and a review of how well or badly the management functions of planning, organizing, directing and controlling are being performed. And this questionnaire will also provide a means for evaluating organization's ongoing operations by examining its various functional areas. These are various objectives of management audit questionnaire. And for the questions that are present in this management audit questionnaire, there can be 3 types of answers. One is yes, one is no, one is not applicable. If the answer to any question is yes, then it implies that everything is working properly, the auditor, the management auditor need not take any action with respect to that particular aspect. If answer to the question is no, in that case there is something fishy in that area. Auditor, he needs to recommend some improvements to that area. If the answer is not applicable, auditor, he can remain silent. Next, importance. Thus, management audit questionnaire for this part of audit not only serves as management tool to analyze the current situation, but more importantly, it enables the management auditor to synthesis, that means to identify those elements that are causing organizational difficulties and deficiencies. Okay, there could be various small problems that are causing these management deficiencies, operational deficiencies. So this management audit questionnaire will help the auditor to identify those small problems and combine them to identify the real reason behind these deficiencies. That is known as synthesis. Okay, identify small problems and combine them to get a whole picture of what the actual problem is. Next question. Question number 4. Somicroft Paper Limited is a public limited company. There is a proper system of operational audit in the company. You, as an advisor to the company, have suggested desirability of management audit. Management is of a strong opinion that there is no difference between management audit and operational audit. Elaborate. Again, differences between management audit, operational audit. You need to write the same points that we have discussed in question number 1 and question number 2. Apart from that, you need to additionally add this point. Management audit and operational audit are complementary and supplementary to one another. Okay, they will help each other. Management audit alone cannot get the results. Operational audit alone cannot get the complete results. If you have these two audits, only then you can get proper results. Okay, these two audits, they will work hand in hand. They are complementary and supplementary to each other. Hope that is clear. So you should suggest the management that just because of the fact that there is operational audit, it doesn't mean that you need not have you need not conduct management audit in your entity. Both are different. Even though you are having operational audit, you should conduct management audit. Question number 5. Moksha Limited is a manufacturing company and started its business in year 2000. The net profit after tax of the company was 15% up to the financial year 2021, but for the financial year 21-22 and 22-23, the company's profit declined even when there was an increase in sales and production of goods by the company. So the management of AS Limited felt a need to get the management audit conducted with the objective of detecting and overcoming current managerial deficiencies. Briefly discuss the steps to prepare the management audit report. See, this entire question is irrelevant. You just need to focus on this last line. Briefly discuss the steps to prepare management audit report. In the internal audit chapter, we have seen some of the points with respect to preparation of internal audit report. Similarly, while preparing the management audit report, what points has to be kept in mind? Planning the audit report. First of all, before preparing the audit report, you have to properly plan which points has to be kept in this management audit report and which points has to be presented before the management through this audit report. You should properly plan the audit report. And supporting information for whatever the findings that you have kept in the audit report, the management audit report, you should also have proper supportings, okay, to prove that information or findings that you have kept in the audit report. And preparing draft audit report, before preparing the final audit report you need to prepare a draft audit report. If you are satisfied with that draft audit report, you need to prepare the final audit report from that draft audit report. See, writing and issuing final audit report. Once you issue the audit report, you need to continuously follow up the audit report. Basically, in the management audit report, you could have made certain recommendations to the management. Whether management has implemented those recommendations, if they have implemented the recommendations, what results they have achieved, whether there should be some more action that has to be taken in order to correct the situation, or whether the management have not at all implemented the recommendation that has been made by the auditor. If they have not implemented, why they have not implemented. Okay, this follow up has to be done by the management auditor. The sixth point is also related to same, action or response of management on the audit report. On the audit report, what action has been taken by the management, whether they have implemented the recommendations or not implemented the recommendation. If they have not implemented the recommendation, why they have not implemented the recommendations, whether there is any problem in understanding the recommendations that have been made by the auditor. If that is the reason, okay, if management is not able to understand the recommendations that have been made by the auditor, then auditor, he needs to further explain the recommendations that have been made by him to the management. Hope that is clear. Question number 6. I guess you might be getting some noise in the background. Actually, I have forgot to switch on this noise cancellation button. Now it should you should be able to listen properly. So moving to question number 6. The management auditor has to analyze the nature and causes of behavioral problems in the discharge of the review function and to arrive at possible solutions to overcome these problems. As a management auditor of Real Limited, how will you demonstrate in arriving at a solution to behavioral problems and create an atmosphere of trust and friendliness so that audit reports will be understood in their proper perspective? Basically, in case of management audit, when the management auditor goes for management audit, he faces certain behavioral problems from the staff that are present in the entity. What are those behavioral problems? We will be seeing them in question number 7. Now, in order to overcome the behavioral problems, what should be the approach of the management auditor? First of all, management auditor should try to convince the employees, stating that audit is part of overall program that has been mandated by higher level of authority so as to meet higher level organizational needs for both production and maximum constructive benefit. Auditor needs to convince the staff that the purpose of this management audit is not to find faults, but it is to provide certain constructive benefit so that the entity's objectives will be achieved. And the objective of the review is to provide maximum service in all feasible managerial dimensions. This has to be convinced by the management auditor to the staff of the entity. And management auditor should also communicate them, stating that, see, uh, we will not disturb your regular day-to-day activities. Our audit, the review will be conducted with minimum interference with regular operations of the operating personnel. And also the responsible officers will be kept fully informed and have an opportunity to review findings and recommendations before any audit report is formally released. Okay, before we keep any negative remarks in the audit report, we will first of all communicate this fact with the responsible officer. We will discuss with you uh, why this problem is being faced by you. We'll communicate with you. Only after that we will put this point in the audit report. Apart from this, the management auditor should adopt constructive criticism. He should just not keep on finding the faults. He should criticize so that his criticism is helpful to the staff and to the organization. He should make a constructive criticism. It is essential that auditor should concentrate only on constructive criticism. He should also make obvious in his report the value of his comments in the tangible terms. Now, in order to achieve this constructive criticism, auditor needs to focus on the reporting methods. While framing his audit report, he can achieve this objective of constructive criticism. The auditor has to make a concerted effort to convey effectively his role by adopting friendly but firm tone in his audit report. Okay, in his audit report he should adopt a friendly tone, and the report should concentrate on areas which needs improvement rather than insignificant inefficiencies. Just instead of just listing all the wrongs, all the faults and all the inefficiencies in the entity, auditor instead he needs to suggest the improvements that can be made to the various procedures and processes in the entity. Okay, this should be his approach while preparing the management audit report. And he should adopt participative approach. That means before making any recommendation, he should involve the people who are connected with that particular procedure, so that uh, respective staff, he will feel that yes, even I am also considered, okay, even my opinion is also considered while making the recommendation. If you adopt this participative approach, you will not find any opposition from that staff who are responsible for implementing the recommendation. Okay, if you just go and tell the staff of the organization to do this, to improve this, they will not listen to you. Instead, if you take their suggestions, okay, if you ask for their opinions, then they will feel that yes, even my opinion is considered. So this type of participative approach has to be adopted by the auditor. Okay, by following these, the auditor can somehow decrease the behavioral problems in the management audit. Now coming to the final question, question number 7. XYZ Limited is a manufacturer of soaps and cosmetics having business operations in Delhi. XYZ Limited is planning to expand its operations across India. Before expansion, the top management of XYZ Limited is willing to appoint CAT for conducting management audit of XYZ Limited. However, the top management of XYZ Limited is afraid that management audit may lead to the breeding of antagonism on the part of company. Antagonism means strong opposition. The top management of XYZ Limited approached CAT and requested to explain them causes of antagonism. Okay, what will cause this antagonism in the company? Okay, what will cause this strong opposition to the recommendations of the auditor? Following are the factors which will cause antagonism in the entity. First one, fear of criticism stemming from adverse audit findings. See, if the auditor, he comes and he performs management audit and he finds various deficiencies in the entity and he lists these deficiencies in the audit report. Now, based on these deficiencies that has been listed by the auditor in his audit report, the criticism, okay, the person who is responsible for doing that particular activity might be criticized by the other people, saying that you have performed all these deficiencies. Okay, because the auditor has listed all the deficiencies, all the wrongs that has been committed by that particular person in that procedure. So because of this criticism, there could be antagonism that can arise in the company among the employees. Also, fear of changes in day-to-day working habits because of changes resulting from audit recommendations. Now, auditor, the management auditor, he can make any recommendations to change the procedure or any particular process. Now, if this change is implemented, the employees who are doing that particular process from last many years, they would have got adopted to that particular procedure. Now if suddenly you change that procedure, they will have to again adopt, they will have to again learn a new uh, aspects. So even because of this also, there could be antagonism in the company. Next, punitive action by superiors prompted by reported deficiencies. Obviously, if any deficiencies have been found in the process that they are connected with, the seniors will obviously, they will impose punitive actions against them. Even this is also one of the reason for antagonism. And insensitive audit practices, reports which are overly critical. Okay, that means reports which are focusing mainly on negative aspects, and reports which focus on deficiencies only. The air of mystery cloaking some audits, and the perception that auditors gain personally from reporting deficiencies. Okay, even because of this insensitive audit procedures, there could be antagonism and hostile audit style. A cold and distant aspect is a lack of understanding of auditees' problems, an absence of empathy, an air of smugness or superiority, an excessive concentration on insignificant errors. Okay, without concerned about what is the requirement of auditing. Okay, without having any idea of that, you just focusing on the deficiencies, you just listing down all the wrongdoings in the entity without having any empathy. So a prosecutional tone when asking questions, uh, you are doing audit in the form of a investigation, and you are using a prosecutional tone, and a greater concern with parodying defects than helping constructively to improve conditions. These five factors could cause antagonism within the entity. Okay, by this we have completed question and answer discussion from management audit. We'll be meeting in the next class with a new chapter. I'll be winding up this class as of now. Take care. Bye bye. See you.